What's going on, Raider Nation? Welcome to another video for the Black and Silver Way. Before I get started on the Steeler recap, I wanted to apologize to you guys because sometimes I'd be putting the videos out Tuesday, and today I'm putting it out on Wednesday. That's not my intention. I have construction going on. I work in I live in an apartment that's getting reconstructed inside and out right now. So Monday 8 to 5, they're just banging on my walls. I'm not even here most of the time because it's annoying so bad. I can't even handle all the stuff that they're doing on the outside of my house. So if I was going to try and make a video for you guys, it would just be bang, bang, bang. Like, you just be hearing a bunch of stuff. So I try to get it as quiet as possible. And, right now the lighting probably isn't as good because I had to wait till after 5. I'm having to wait till after 5. And also on top of that, I work usually. So, I apologize. I don't want to put the video out freaking all the way on Wednesday, but to this week I had to, and sometimes it will have to happen. Just wanted to give you a heads up with that. I wanted to get into some news this week. A few things happened in the Raider Nation, and I wanted to also cover injuries of what happened on the Steeler game with the injuries. Let's start off with the whole Ray Armstrong thing, barking at the dogs, the canine dogs of the Steeler game. I'm going to go ahead and read exactly what it is, what he did. The Raider player barked at the dog, lifted his shirt, and pounded his chest between exiting the locker room and entering the field area before warm-ups. Kevin Cross said the player also told the dog, "Send the dog." The dog was going crazy, the deputy said, and she had to try it as best as she could. This is some stupid, childish kind of shit right here, but in Pennsylvania, this is a very serious offense. It's a third-degree offense, and of a felony, so this is a third-degree felony in Pennsylvania. If this is really going to be, him convicted, he could end up doing some time and actually be out of the NFL. So we got to see what's going to go on with Ray Armstrong. In my opinion, that was the stupidest, childish thing you could have done, but we replaced a child with a child. We replaced C.O. Moore with Ray Armstrong, and it seems like they're the same person, so I don't really get of why we got rid of C.O. Moore in the beginning. I also wanted to touch base that the Raiders lost a huge person in the organization a couple days ago, Richard Romanski. Richard Romanski was on the Oakland Raiders from 1963 all the way to a couple days ago, guys. He dedicated his whole life. Him and Al Davis joined the Raiders at the same time, and he was the equipment manager for over 40 years, guys. He dedicated his whole life. He brought his son Rob into the Raiders franchise as well, and Rob is going to be continuing to be the new equipment manager to take over his dad's position, but their whole lives have been dedicated to the Oakland Raiders. Anything that our players have needed or anything at all on the sidelines, every single game, every single moment of this season, Richard and Rob have took care of it. So Richard passing is a big blow to the organization, and I hope that, my condolences to the family, and we should all definitely take a moment of silence for Richard and his family. Now let's go ahead and get into the game. We lost the game from a field goal at the last second. The game was 38-35. The Steelers go 5-4. We go 4-4. This was really a must-win for us. This was a very must-win for us to set the tone, to show the NFL that we are still a team not to be reckoned with. And I'll tell you this, guys, even though we took that L on paper, watching that game was very emotional for me to see my team compete like that. We competed and played at a very high level every single minute of that game. And to see Derek Carr and Michael Crabtree connect at that last touchdown, the last minute of the game, I collapsed to the floor and I could not believe that I seen my team compete and march down the field in Heinz Field and get a touchdown like that, a 30-yard pass, if that, right over like a whole man-to-man coverage. It was ridiculous, guys. This game was a hard-fought game. And, it was very tough. The Steelers came out swinging. I mean, they were slamming our players left and right. Latavius Murray goes out with a concussion. Rodney Hudson, our center, that's been amazing from the Kansas City Chiefs, has, luckily negative x-rays, and he's probably going to just be out for this game and coming up against the Vikings, but nothing serious at all. He might even be in the game this Sunday, but either way, guys, our players were getting hit hard. And, TJ Carey not being on the field, we definitely paid for it, guys, because the big flaw of this game was obviously Antonio Brown putting up nearly 300 yards on the game. And, Amerson could only do so much. DJ Hayden is a straight draft bust. And, I'm really just proud of this offense, because the defense overall folded for us. They could not stop Antonio Brown to save their lives. And it was basically the Raiders against Antonio Brown. And the Raiders were really, really clicking on offense. Let me go ahead and get us some offense stats for you guys. I'd like to go ahead and start off the offensive stats with Derek Carr, the amazing quarterback that we have. He threw 300 yards, 24 for 44, basically making 50% of his throws, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, and a passer rating of 97. No other Raider since Rich Gannon in 2002 has had 4 300-yard games out of the first 8. And that's amazing. He keeps beating a lot of Rich Gannon's records, obviously showing that he has been the best quarterback since Rich Gannon. Carr now has 19 touchdowns on the season. The one thing that I walked away from that game was, guys, I walked away seeing Derek Carr fight through that game. I just walked away just saying promising. Like, I felt promised that we have a future quarterback. I cannot believe, guys, that we have Derek Carr as our quarterback. And I can't believe that he fell to the second round for us. It was just meant to be, and it's just a savior from God. It's a savior from the football gods. I just can't believe how good of quarterback Derek Carr is. And it's so funny that, to see, all these other quarterbacks that got drafted before him and how he's progressed and how much maturity he brings to the team overall as like a team player. Like, we have one of the best offensive lines in the game. Like, he didn't get sacked the whole game during the Steelers, and he threw 44 passes. He didn't get sacked during the Jets, and he put up 300 yards. It's just insane to me that our offensive line is protecting Derek so much. And you want to know what I think is that Derek is such a good human being and such a good teammate that the offensive line must have the utmost respect for him, and they put their hearts out on that line for him, and they really, really don't want him to get touched. And I really love that about Derek, because I know of how good of a teammate he is and how much, maturity and knowledge he brings to the offense. So I feel like those offensive line guys back to the fullest. And I'm just really proud of Derek Carr, and I really cannot wait to see what he's going to do against the Vikings. Amari Cooper finishes the day with 7 receptions, 88 yards, and 1 touchdown. The only problem that I had about Amari Cooper from last week and this week is, even though he's putting up big yards and he's still making a couple big moves on the when he catches the ball and after, is his real inconsistency the last 3 to 2 weeks has been really bad. He's dropping open passes at least 2 or 3 times on this game, and it happened in the Jets game as well. I don't know what's going on with that. Every single time Cooper got the ball in the first 5 games, it was like glue. He couldn't, he did not catch it. So I don't know what's going on with Cooper. Maybe it's just something that's going on with him, not being able to be so focused. But I hope that he stays consistent, because you got to catch open balls. But anyways, hats off to Cooper. He's still leading the receptions and yards for the rookie wide receiver class all combined. He's still going to be, top rookie of the year. It's going to be between him or that Gurley guy from the Rams. Either way, I'm really, really amazed to see what Amari Cooper's doing, but I just want to see him be a little more consistent with catching the ball. Latavius Murray finishes the day with 17 attempts for 96 yards, and one of the first runs he had was a 44-yard run right off the line. Jumps through the offensive line, takes off for a 44-yard run. It was amazing to see. It really set the tone real early for us. It was our first drive. Latavius Murray also basically blew the game for us nearly by having a real costly fumble. It seems like once a game he's fumbling the ball or jiggling the ball off to the sidelines, and he's had a few turnovers for us on this game in the past. So I don't know what's going on with Latavius Murray, but obviously he's out with a concussion because Mike Mitchell, the ex-Raider safety, laid his ass out. Helmet to helmet, they didn't call it, and he was straight laid out with a concussion. Anyways, I feel like Latavius Murray Awuwale is right now being, jiggling with the ball, and he doesn't really have good carrying at all. But he is an explosive wide receiver, running back. But the one thing I don't like about him that he runs upright. He doesn't like put his helmet down and lay someone out when they get near him, like how Darren McFadden used to do. I feel like he's very, fragile in a way as well, because he had a concussion last season and now he has a concussion this year. So those kind of injuries, guys, are very serious, especially if he gets a concussion a year. He won't last in the NFL. He'll be pulled within like a year or two. He might have to retire. So, Latavius Murray might have to run a little more low, or, kind of put his shoulder into someone when they're coming at him, because right now he's just getting laid out. Taiwan Jones had a really good game last week, and then this week he blew the game by fumbling the ball on the kick return, and that's really, really what ended the game. They got a 2 touchdown possession right there in the fourth quarter, so that's really what put it out of reach for us, was Taiwan Jones. So he basically had game ball last week, and this week basically blew the game for us. Fullback Amiz Alawale got a 19-yard clutch touchdown late in the fourth quarter. He's a backup to Marcel Reese, and he's a really good backup. Every time he's in, he seems to make a pretty good play. So good job to Alawale. Also, tight end Clive Walford gets a 1-yard touchdown pass from Derek Carr. Good job to him, but I know he got roughed up. He was hit a few times real hard right after the catch, like a little quick slant from a first down pass from Derek Carr to Clive Walford. Dropped it almost both times, and it was getting laid out, and I know he got roughed up and taken out, so hopefully Clive Walford's all right. Seth Roberts, he ended up getting 3 catches for 73 yards. Crucial catches, guys. Real clutch. One was 18 yards, the other was 19 yards, and the other was 26 yards in the fourth quarter. Big time plays from Seth Roberts, looking really good as a rookie. And, I got to get into my boy. I never thought I'd call him my boy, but Michael Crabtree, guys. He's having 100-yard back-to-back games for the first time in his career. He catches 7 passes for 108 yards and 2 touchdowns for his 11th career 100-yard game also as well. 3rd this season with the Oakland Raiders. I'm telling you guys, Derek Carr told us in training camp that Michael Crabtree is so far his favorite receiver to throw the ball to, and the chemistry has been built ever since then. And it's been displayed all season long. I told you guys in week 3 that we need to sign this man to a 3 to 5 year deal, preferably 5 years, and let him end his career with the Oakland Raiders, because I could tell that this is going to be another Jerry Rice type story. Goes to the 49ers, does really well with the 49ers. Well, he didn't do as well as Jerry Rice did, obviously, but he will retire out as an Oakland Raider like how Jerry did, or at least finish his career with the Oakland Raiders. And that's exactly what needs to happen with Michael Crabtree. He's in those clutch positions, he's catching the ball. And those 2 touchdowns that he got, those passes, were really good catches, guys, in traffic both times. Derek Carr seems to target Michael Crabtree, and it's paying off every time. So we need to sign that man. We need to sign Michael Crabtree before this season ends, and we can't let him get near free agency. Defense was absolutely atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. Let's get into David Amerson. Obviously, David Amerson has been doing more work than DJ Hayden this year. He pulled a interception in front of Antonio Brown, and he also gets, I think it was 8 solo tackles. David Amerson also had a forced fumble, and he's been putting in work from the Redskins ever since. But Antonio Brown was absolutely torching him the whole game, and it really showed how bad of a cornerback David Amerson really is. Let's get into linebacker Alden Smith. He also got a sack on Ben Roethlisberger, which was really clutch. Hurt Roethlisberger, put him out for the rest of the game, and I thought we're going to seal the deal when Ben Roethlisberger left the game, but obviously it didn't. And really, that's really all we had. And, interception, special teams got a turnover. Andre Holmes, late in the fourth quarter, did a clutch strip off of the receiver, and Ray Armstrong was able to drop on the ball. DJ Hayden, absolutely garbage. I'm tired of DJ Hayden, and he missed so many tackles on that game, was getting burned every single time I seen him. Like I told you, David Amerson looked better than DJ Hayden on that game. Charles Woodson even admitted that this was a defensive faulted game. If the defense was able to held a little better, we would have absolutely won this game. But, it didn't. It didn't, and we can't look back and just be like, okay, if this and this and this didn't happen, because at the end of the day, there was a lot of freaking errors. There was a lot of errors that happened on this game, and I'm not proud of all the errors that were made, but I'm proud of the way the team kept fighting and fighting and fighting. That's something the Oakland Raiders have not had. We've never had a team that just kept fighting and fighting and fighting every single second of the game, especially when you're down 2 touchdowns in the fourth and you're able to tie it at one of the hardest places to play and one of the hardest teams to beat, the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I'm really proud of the Oakland Raiders, and I can't rave enough of how glad I am that this coaching staff is getting the old mentality of being the same old Raiders out of their heads, and we're actually competing and being a real factor in the NFL. And I'm just really, really proud of Derek Carr. I will always say that Derek Carr is amazing, absolutely an amazing football player, and I'm just so blessed. The whole Raider Nation and our whole organization is blessed that we have Derek Carr at our quarterback position. So us going 4-4, going to the Minnesota Vikings, I think, which are 6-2, they're not doing that bad this year. And the one person that's having a really big year that is, obviously we already knew this, is Adrian Peterson is absolutely tearing up defensive lines and defenses. So we have a pretty good run-stopping game. And I'm really thinking that Adrian Peterson's going to have a hard time, running it up the gut. So I expect a lot of tosses out to the side, maybe some screens from Adrian Peterson, because after he gets the ball, it's where you have to worry about. He is a fast, hard runner. And, going into this game, I don't know if Teddy Bridgewater is going to be into this game. He got rocked last game, and I think he has a concussion. I wanted Teddy Bridgewater to play, but, to have Bridgewater against Derek Carr, but I don't think that's going to happen. Going into Oakland, if their run game is going to be stopped, obviously we're getting a win here because on defense they really don't have anything going for them. If Derek Carr, like I said, has been extremely hot this year, and it's only going to carry over to this game, especially being at home in Oakland against the Vikings, we're going to put up a good amount of touchdowns, I feel like. And I feel like Derek Carr is going to be very strong still, and our offense is going to be clicking, especially Michael Crabtree and Amari Cooper going up against the Vikings cornerbacks. Like I said, if the Vikings can't bring their A game, especially their running game, it's going to be a long, hard day for the Vikings. I expect this to go 5-4 easy, guys. I will be out there this Sunday. I'm very sorry for the late video. And to the Steelers loss, guys, don't take it as a big loss, and don't try to be so negative about it. Just look about how hard our team was actually fighting to stay into that game the whole time, and look how much points we put up. We put up 4 freaking touchdowns. I can't believe we had a try. I mean, to think about it, let's just think about where we're at now, and you better think about Dennis Allen and Terrell Pryor starting for us a couple years ago. It's night and day. I'm going to end it like that, Raider Nation. I'll see you guys next week. Go Raiders. Late.